Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is lightweight and welterweight champion of Levels Fight League, Andras Binder. Hello, Andras. How are you?
How are you doing, my man? All good, thank you.
Thank you for taking the invitation, and especially after this kind of fight, because you become a double champion in, I think, that really like fast racing organization. And if you can tell me how cool was to win a second belt just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a surreal experience. It was great. I know that all the hard work paid off, so yeah, really happy with the performance.
And because you become a lightweight champion before, what do you think should be next for you? Do you want to defend welterweight champion? Maybe you have some goals about another division like middleweight.
No, definitely not middleweight. I walk around 84, 85. So no, I thought I went through it my whole life. I made the cut down to lightweight and won the belt, but then it was just harder to cut the weight when I'm balancing 40 hours a week with work. But I'll definitely stick at welterweight for the foreseeable future, and then see what happens. I'd love to defend it, and now the target's on my back, so whoever wants to take on the challenge and want my strap, come and get it. But I don't know. We'll see what's next.
But to be honest, in lightweight division also you looked really good because sometimes the fighter is not looking great and he's moving up to another division and you even were able to score a fourth round knockout. So I think that is quite like impressive.
Yeah, it's like the Waco was grand. Obviously it was harder than welterweight, but like when I'm doing crazy hours and I'm not like focused full time just on MMA, then it's a bit harder. And I'm getting older as well, you know what I mean? So it's harder to go weight. But like I said, never say never. I could drop down to lightweight again, maybe next year or this at the end of this year. I just don't know yet. I'll see what adjustments I can do with the weight issues and stuff like that, and then it could happen again.
And in this welterweight title fight, you were a favorite. So do you prefer to be a favorite in the fight, or you prefer to be an underdog?
I To me, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, when that gate closes, that cage door closes, it's just me and my opponent. He was very experienced. Melvin was a champion for a reason. He's been around the block for a very long time. This was his 21st or 22nd fight, so he's been around a long, long time. There was a lot of pressure on me, obviously because I always fight international now, so I haven't fought back home in Ireland in over 6 years, if not more. And going into his backyard, taking the belt off him, which he was the hometown hero. But I, for me, it doesn't really matter. I love being the underdog because I deal so well with that pressure, and I like to shut up a lot of people. So for me, it doesn't matter. Fight's a fight.
And actually, you beat a lot of like veteran type of the fighters. So I think that it is good because they sometimes they even don't have like a great record, but they are in MMA like for 10 years. They have a lot of tricks. So if you can beat this kind of fighters, and if you can beat them if with quite of ease, it means that you
Yeah.
are like also that you gaining experience, but it show also how good like your potential really is.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I like taking the hardest fights. No point in fighting padded records or like fighting shit fighters because you will get found out eventually. So I always take the hardest fights. I take the most experienced guys. You look at my last three, four opponents, they had over like 20, 30 fights each. You know what I mean? So for me, it doesn't really matter. Like, I have a lot of experience at amateur level, so I'm building into that. That's why it took me a long time to turn pro because there's little glitches in my game, and I wanted to be ready when I go pro. So give me the hardest fights, I will take them. I never said no to anyone.
And the New Year just started. And do you have a plan for this year? How many fights would you like to have, or where would you like to be in the end of 2025?
Yeah, like, I want to have as many fights as possible. If I can have 4 or 5 fights, I like being active. it'll be perfect. But yet again, we just don't know. Like we have so many options now, so we're just gonna keep our head down, keep training, and whenever my coach and my manager sit down and be like, look, this is the next phase, this is it. I'll just say yes sir, no sir, and that's it. You know, I just like being busy. Last year I only had two fights, two wins, but I want to be more active. Obviously it was a rough start because I missed weight on PFL in March, but then I fought straight away, literally 2 weeks after that, and I moved up weight at welterweight. I got stronger, I got fitter, and I'm just enjoying training so much more instead of just focusing on weight cut, you know. But yeah, this year will definitely be at least 4 or 5 fights.
So maybe with this kind of schedule, you even can get a chance to fight in the Contender Series this year.
Yeah, look, there's so many options. So whatever it is, I'll be more than ready. Like, I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, keep knocking people out, and the opportunities are going to be there. Like, I'll have a handful of opportunities which I'm going to take with both hands and pursue this as a full-time career, not work and train at the same time, you know.
And about your beginnings in the combat sport, you started with judo, correct?
Yeah, I did. I started judo at a very young age, and then from that, once I got my black belt in judo, I think it was back in 2017 or 2016, I got my first degree black belt, and then I transitioned then into boxing, kickboxing, like to mix them all up. And from that, I was like, you know what? Now let's try MMA, and the rest is history. Like it's just been getting better and better and better every year.
And did you have like, let's say, Olympic dream that you want to go with the judo and go to the like championship or even the Olympics games?
Oh, 100%. I think it's every kid's dream, when you're in, like, say, a karate Irish team or any national team or judo or boxing, whatever, your goal is always to go to the Olympics. But I just kind of not felt the love for that sport anymore. Do you know what I mean? It done great things for me, but I always like to pursue something different, something more challenging. And obviously in Ireland, like the funding, you don't get as much funding for judo. So I wanted to do something different where I could actually make a living from. And obviously that was always going to be a dream. But I fell in love with MMA, and now I'm making this as I want this as my full-time job.
And when you start like striking sports like boxing or kickboxing, how tough was it? Because you are like master in one area of combat sports, but in the end, it's like totally different than anything connected with striking.
Oh, it was very very tough at the start. I think I didn't even know how to throw a jab. I was just grappling orientated, and I like my first maybe six, seven, eight amateur fights. I just took lads down, finished them on the ground, just very dominant grappling, and then I kind of fell in love with the striking and stuff like that. And I think sometimes I kind of fall in love with striking way too much and I forget about my grappling. But that's the beauty of MMA. Like you can't be lacking in any department if you're not good at grappling, if you're not good at striking, you're going to get found out. So I started developing all those skills and made me the person I am today. And now look, from a grappler, I have more knockouts than I have submissions. So it's just absolutely crazy. I think I have seven knockouts and only two submissions. So it's just mad.
Yes, and even like watching, maybe not all of your fights, but like two or three, we can like think that that you have like a Muay Thai background or kickboxing background, but still you have this kind of skills in striking, but you have like your grappling in the back pocket, and you show it a few times that you can submit your opponents with like with quite ease, let's say.
Yeah, like I can always fall back on my roots, you know what I mean? I'm a second degree black belt in judo and I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, like so I can always fall back to my roots. But we have that saying in our gym, Jesus loves knockouts. So if I touch you, you will just go to sleep. You know what I mean? No one loves a boring fight. People pay money to see great performances, great finishes. You know what I mean? No one likes a decision fight. So I go in there, I give it my all, and the best man wins. And I'm getting my hand raised every single time. So I want to keep continue that streak going.
And what do you think is right now the best tool in your skill set?
I think it's just hard work and commitment. Do you know what I mean? If like the more you train, the more you commit to training, and you're willing to learn, and you leave your ego outside, you don't bring it in the gym, you'll go very, very far. And it's even to this day, even though like I've been doing MMA for I lost count, but such a long time. I'm always willing to learn more and more and more. Do you know what I mean? I'm not, oh yeah, I've won a belt or whatever. I'm still back to training again. It feels like I'm in fight camp again. You know what I mean? I'm not, just because I won a belt doesn't mean that anything. I'm there for my training partners, and my training partners are there for me. So it's just being humble, and you put in the work, results will follow.
Actually, I really like in your style that you can finish the fight in like first, second, third, in even fourth round because sometimes like a fighter is super dangerous and in the first round, and if the finish will
Yeah.
not happen, it's like a decision. But with you, we will never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's the thing with me. I progress as the fight goes. If the fight goes 5 rounds, it's even better for me because I can excel and I can just get better and better and better. I'm kind of like in the first round, a lot of people always say, "Oh, you start slow." But the reason I start slow is because I'm kind of like downloading all the information of my opponent and be like, right, this is the movement he's doing, this is what he's doing. And then the second, third, fourth round, if it goes to the fourth round, I will finish you. Like, it's just I like take my time. I know I don't need to rush anything. And when the finish presents itself, I will take it. Like,
And right now you are training in SSBG, Charlestown. And was it
yeah.
your first like full MMA gym?
No, so I started in Galway over in Shaolin MMA. And then from there I started there, maybe I was there for maybe about 8, 9 years. And then I moved over to Charlestown because I used to be driving up and down from Galway. So Galway to Dublin is about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I done that for 6 months, especially during COVID, because all the gyms were closed and stuff. And I just didn't have the training partners, and I just needed to kind of push myself. And I was like, look, if I'm going pro now, I need to like push my pace. I need to like get like, how should I say this? It's like you can't be the shark in the small tank anymore. You know what I mean? You need new challenges. You need to get like battered again. You need to kind of have tough sparrings. And then we decided to make the move, and I moved closer to Dublin there 4 years ago, and I joined the gym, and it's the best decision I've made.
And do you have their names? Maybe a bit like you, on the verge of going to the highest level possible.
Oh, 100%. We have like everyone in the gym is phenomenal athletes, coming from like the young kids up to like nearly going pro. This year we're gonna have definitely at least 3 or 4 pros going. We'll have Aidan O'Boyle, he's going to make his pro debut this year. Alex Fagan, he's going to make his pro debut. Sarah's going to make her pro debut. Then we have like Janderson, he's a professional already. I think he has 11 fights. We have Nicky, he's a pro as well, over 6, 7 fights as well. But it's just we have a small group, but we all push each other. Like we have Max Salali as well. He's signed to Cage Warriors and he's 3-0. We have a lot of talent. Do you know what I mean? And we're kind of pushing each other. We're always there for each other, and we're evolving.
And what I like in the European MMA that even if the fighter is 0-0 as the pro, he can like have 20 or even 30 amateur bouts. So so he is in the end like super experienced guy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the level at amateur level in Ireland is like a very hot, very like maybe 3, 4. If it feels like he had like 3 or 4 pro fights already. Like, but that's the thing with Irish MMA. Like we're such a small island, but with so many talented like fighters coming up into the scene and stuff like that. And just nearly everyone, like you look at the IMAFs, for example, like for such a small country, like they're always bringing so many gold medals home, world champions and stuff like that. So it definitely evolved it definitely evolved the MMA game big time in Ireland, and this year is going to be a very big year for Ireland.
And actually, about 7 years ago, you beat one of the best current Irish fighter. Probably a lot of people ask you about it because I think that in the end it's quite a big thing that you defeated Ian Gary. Are you happy that he's doing so well in the UFC right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm delighted. Like we both had two different paths. He's competed at a very high level, and look, he's in title contentions now and everything. He's flying it, and I'll never say anything bad by to an Irish fighter because, like I said, we're such a small country, and the more Irish fighters in the UFC, PFL, Bellator, these massive promotions, the better for us. Do you know what I mean? So obviously, it's a great thing, but I still have that win over him, and that's it really. Like, you know what I mean? So the better he does, the better I do.
And do you have a fighter from the UFC maybe he's a ranked fighter, maybe he's just in the UFC roster, but you think that you can beat him right now, that you have the style to beat him without like big problems?
There's just so many out there. Do you know what I mean? It's just at the top of my head. I don't see anyone outside the top 15 beating me. Because I'm just so dangerous in every aspect. Like I can knock you on the feet, I can submit you on the ground. But that just shows you the caliber of fighters there are in this world. Like so, I don't have really anyone in mind, but whoever they put in front of me, I'll fight and I'll be more than ready, and I'll definitely look for a finish.
And do you overall like to watch a UFC fights, especially like welterweight division or lightweight division?
Yeah, every time it's on, I watch it. If I'm not working in the morning, I'd kind of like record it and then I'll watch it when I get back home. But I like to study, I like to study a lot of the welterweight division, a lot of the lightweight division, and kind of pick up little tricks and stuff like that as well, and be like, oh, I can improve on that, or maybe oh, I can try that in training, and then we put into work because that's what training is about. You know what I mean? You try all these new things, and if they work, they work. If not, you can try something else the next time.
And actually, the like welterweight division right now, I think that is really exciting one because we of course have Belal, but we have also few also experienced but less known fighters who like weren't on the top or challenge for the title, like Sean Brady, like Jack Della Maddalena. I think that a lot of great things will happen in welterweight division, and it will be like the new wave of the fighters will go to the top because like Kamaru Usman or Colby Covington, they are a little bit on like the declining way.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of upcoming talent now, especially maybe guys just breaking into the top 10 or the top 15, like even that Carlos Prates, he's absolutely phenomenal. Like, and he'll definitely break into that top 10 contention. Like, and then I think they just announced there Leon Edwards is fine, Jack Medalena. So that's going to be a great fight as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's nice not to just always get the same main events or the same co-main events of the top five guys all the time. So all these new waves are coming in, and it's going to be an interesting division, especially that welterweight division. Like you know.
And outside of fight game, do you have like additional maybe hobby, maybe passion, something that you can be focused on, not thinking about fighting?
Um, I don't know. I like watching a lot of football. Anyway, yeah, I watch a lot of football whenever Arsenal is playing. I kind of that's my boyhood club. I've been watching them since I was a kid, so watch a lot of football at the weekend. Um, what else? If I'm not in training, I'm in work. If I'm not in work, I'm in training. So my life is just really revolves around training. But I like to kind of spend time with the missus and go for a long walk with the dog and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm very chill. I'm very basic. You know what I mean? I whatever helps me with recoveries and stuff like that. That's about it, really. Like I just put in the hard work Monday to Friday, and then just relax at the weekend and just spend some quality time with the family.
And right now, when you are like a few weeks after the fight, do you train like every day after your work?
Yeah, every day, Monday to Friday, I train every single day. Like that's the thing. Like work accommodate me for my training, so I work just mornings. I start at 5 a.m. I'm out of there at 2 p.m. I come home, take a nap, and then I'm in training then for half five, and then I'll be home maybe about half nine, 10 o'clock, and then I repeat that every single day. You know what I mean? But it's something I enjoy doing, something I love, and it's like I said, I want to pursue this as a full time, and it's just such an amazing lifestyle.
But probably even if right now is a bit tough, when you go to the top or to the UFC, you can like remember this kind of thing with the, like tear in your eyes.
Yeah, 100%. It's like every kind of like obstacle that came in front of me, I overcame it. So it's just it's a lesson. It's a lesson. It's I wouldn't change anything in my life. This is exactly how it was meant to be, and this is how it'll just get better for me, you know.
And how, like from your perspective, would you define success in MMA? Like, what do you mean by successful career in MMA in your case?
In my case, I'd say once I have my own house, I can have a little family, little kids running around, and then joining MMA, and then me being their coach, and just so I can kind of let set a good example for anyone out there, like you know what I mean, looking up to me as a role model. That's when I could say I'm a happy and I've done everything in MMA.
Okay, Andreas, so many thanks for the time and for the conversation. I hope that you will defend your belt quite soon, and I hope that maybe this year, maybe next year, you will get to the like top of the food chain to the UFC.
Thank you, Maman. Thank you. I appreciate it, and thanks for having me on.